everybody. This is a great way to spend a Tuesday, right? Yeah! You guys rule. We are here, of course, for Bush. They have a new album. They have a new album that's coming out on Friday called I Beat Loneliness. And we're going to have Gavin out here in a second. We're going to interview him.
And
sorry, go ahead.
How many of you guys, is this your first time ever seeing Bush?
All right.
And how many is this your 30th time seeing Bush? Yeah!
Somebody's held up an album over there. What's the album? I can't see. Oh, is that 16 Stone?
Yeah!
A little dark. I'm not sure when Gavin is ready. He's ready now? Put your hands together for Gavin Rossdale.
Hi guys. Hi guys.
Hi. Love your cooking show.
Thank you.
Yes!
Somebody just shouted, "We love your cooking show."
Is that a first?
Come on.
Let's start with that then.
These
shall
are
we?
very movie, aren't they? So like snowboards on ice.
They really are, yeah.
If I do this, I don't mean to be rude.
So rude.
I felt bad. We did a picture before with some meet and greet people. Meagan was standing, but she stood in front of me, but kind of like went low, you know, being sweet and accommodating.
Right.
I said, no, stand normal. And I didn't mean the word normal is so scary these days. I mean, I didn't mean it's abnormal to stand weird. You can stand any way you want. You must stand how you want.
Right.
And I apologize for suggesting you stand straight, or even worse, normal.
And I just stood like...
Oh, man.
Maybe you just thought she was a little taller.
No, it was like she was bent like a, you know,
because there was no room
yeah, when
to
you're sort
jump
of
in.
like that in a photograph, and then you regret it later.
And Gavin's like, stand normal, Meagan.
We go so far back with your band. You told us in the studio once, and I would like you to repeat it for the people here if you would. The show that you played where the electricity went out and our program director, Kevin Weatherly, was in the crowd and you thought you had blown it.
Yeah, the power went out 3 times. Every time we got to a chorus, it just cut out. So we were like, we'd come all the way from England thinking we got our big break. And we'd heard this great thing about KROQ, and Kevin Weatherly put us on the radio and it was all exciting. And so we played, and then the power kept on going out, like not once, but 3 times. So I was at the backstage like going, oh my God, it's over. It was that close. We were that close. And he goes, you're the real deal. You're the real deal. And I was like, this guy.
He came backstage
crazy.
after seeing that?
Yes, and said, you guys are the real deal.
He is usually not that bright.
And he's right over there. Give it up for Kevin Weatherly, everybody. Yeah.
I think it maybe was a good learning curve, because ever since then, the electricity, anything to do with KROQ has been perfect.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, K is kryptonite.
I would like to ask you a question about something that I found online that's really weird. And you were known as Future Primitive before Bush, right?
Right.
You did a song that I couldn't find last night, no matter how hard I looked. And it's called Honky Man-Child.
Oh, right. That's the song got us signed.
It's what?
That's the song. What happened is the way that we got signed is there was a show in England. There was a weekly show called The Word. Right? It's a really good music show. And in the middle of the week, they had the kind of review show. And on that, they had Battle of the Bands. And we sent our demo in, and we played that song, Honky Man-Child. And that became like, it's so weird. And it was that was like a video for the guy that signed us in LA, Rob Kahane. Good old Rob. He saw that video.
From Trauma.
But yeah, so and then we ended up, weirdly, we never did that song.
What was the song about? Honky Man-Child.
Yeah, it's a really good question. Who knows? It was a really good time. I was living like Jim Morrison. Everything in my life was based on what would Jim Morrison do. So that's like a 3-tab of acid question. I don't know. No idea. No memory of it. But I know the riff. It was really good. It was a lively song. I never know why we didn't carry it forward.
Can you play it later today?
No.
Okay.
How much money did you pay to have it scrubbed from the internet? Tell the truth. It's okay.
Because I really looked.
Yeah. Well, amazing. Yeah. We made a demo of it. If I find the demo of it, I promise you I will send it over to you.
Fantastic.
It's not terrible. It's just, I guess, not great.
It's just a bizarre title for a song.
People go, oh, this is so cool. We've discovered these lost records, songs you never used. It's like, there's always a reason. You know what I mean? And the good ones float right up the top. And then you got this car boot sale of songs you failed on. Hey, check it out.
So you're good to see that would go away. All right.
Well, it's fine. I remember this one because there's this really beautiful singer, Polystyrene, for a band called X-Ray Specs, and I did a song with her called "Ban the Bomb." And then one day I was listening, we're going to go through my stuff, and I found it. I thought I'd lost it, and it was so cool. And the verse was amazing, and there's some bit that just failed to deliver. It was like good, not good, then it was good. So maybe if I edit that, I'd be all right. But sometimes things are best left in the memory.
Yeah, right.
Like photographs.
Yes, exactly.
So tell us about your cooking show, because that is fascinating. I don't know any other rock stars that have a cooking show.
Yeah, good. Well, it's just a nice way to sit down and interview people, and I think that with you give us a great voice on the radio. But traditionally musicians don't really get a chance to show who they are, because I began it trying to get it before podcasts. Now podcasts have changed it where you can watch someone drone on for 2 hours if you like them, But it used to be we were edited out for whatever we said, and I thought I want to change that narrative a bit. And so I thought, well, have a show and just be yourself and make sure you're in the edit. So you can
so they can't cut it out.
Yeah. So that's what it was, but it's turned into this kind of really cool journey into interviewing these amazing people and getting an understanding of how they got there, because I think it's good for people in these trying times. It's really good for people to see that everyone has had to struggle. It's not easy for anyone, and all these great people that I got on my show, they not only do they struggle really hard to get, against all the odds, they still work really hard to get where they want to go. And I think too much now the message is just like the success without the process is forgotten, and people are like, oh man, if it's going to take more than 2 weeks to get that together, I ain't doing it,
Right.
And it's okay to take that time, is what it is.
Was it different being on the other side of things and being the interviewer rather than being interviewed? Was that challenging?
Yeah, well, it was just fun to just delve into people's process, how they did it, and you find that all these different people that you talk to, it was so weird because they actually, we're more similar than we realize. You kind of think, what am I going to have in common with sort of, Common growing up there in Chicago, Serena in Compton.
Serena Williams.
But you do see that it's just everyone who was not in a way meant to make it. And so it should give hope to people, because on paper, life seems quite hard, how to move forward and to make the right choices. And so it's just a day-to-day thing and finding what you're good at.
And something you had told us when you came in studio was how there was certain foods that these people did not really like, but you didn't find out about that until they actually arrived.
Right. Well, the whole thing was a learning curve, right? So I started out asking questions about what people liked, and then Serena was the one, because she just gave me a list of 5 things, but she failed to put in there, she put chicken, tacos, fish, cake, and healthy. I was like,
Cake and healthy.
so I did a deconstructed taco. I think she liked with a bit of avocado, and I made some tomato thing. And she's like, when we're walking through from one scene to another, she goes, by the way, I really like that dish, but I don't like tomatoes, and I don't like avocado. I was like, oh my God. So from we changed the policy then, because we were doing it ourselves, now I was like, can everyone just make sure they tell me what they don't like as well? We need dislikes as well.
That's kind of important.
Yeah.
You don't want to find that out mid-show. So you got the new album coming out on Friday called I Beat Loneliness. You were talking about everybody's creative process. What is your process, and how do you write a song? Is it usually the same? Do you start with chords? Do you start with words?
Well, take that song, for example. There's a combination. Either I write on my own, I Beat Loneliness, that song that I did myself, or I write with Chris might give me music, work with Eric Ron, Tyler Bates. and it's fun when I get the music, because then I'm just like, I feel like it's a bit of a holiday, because I'm just doing the top line. I'm just being Sia, you know, and just, but she's amazing. But I just mean that thing of like, someone else does the work, put the track together. But I think it's really important to do a couple of different ways, so that it's something different in there, as opposed to me doing every song, or me, you know, it's just sort of changing it up. And I always loved that David Bowie used to always, you know, he'd write a bunch of the records himself, songs himself, and then it'd be something he'd write with the producer or some other musicians, and that smattering of that. So for me, you know, with the advent of studios and the way technology is, you can really have a fun environment in which to write in on my own. And then, you know, similarly, it's really fun to get music in and just blast it in the car and drive and play. So the more different ways, the better.
For that particular song you wrote yourself, did you come up with the title, I Beat Loneliness first?
Yeah, I had that
write a song?
It was really exciting, because the kind of main feel of the song, I was like, I felt close to something good. And I was waiting. When I write with other people, if I write in the room with them, I write really fast. But if I write on my own, I like to let the tracks kind of like, you know, like just play, you know, keep it on loop, walk around the house. And when I got that phrase, I just thought, oh man, that's really going to inform the whole record. So, and I thought, oh, that should be the title of the record, or until I think of a better one, and I never thought of a better one.
I have a better one. It's 60 Ways to Forget People. It's one of your songs on this album. That's a pretty good title as well.
Yeah,
Well,
right
I'm big on loyalty, you know, so when people let me down, it's so upsetting, you know, so I just find it, I've never known if it's a curse to be loyal or not. You know, sometimes they can get into trouble because you hang on to people that end up kind of biting you, or is it a good thing? I believe in loyalty, so when people, you know, betray you, it feels like, I don't know, that song came about.
Speaking of songwriting, I did see a quote from you, and it was that you have constant self-doubts and bursts of confidence. Sort of.
That would make me normal. That made me stand normal. That would make me normal. That would mean I was standing normally, isn't it?
Did you have a time where you go, I can't, what am I doing? And then something comes through and you're like, oh, that was great.
So yeah, regularly, you know, when you sort of write songs, my process is that I have to beat myself up first. And then once whoever wins that fight gets to write the song.
You had posted a video talking about how, you know, you always hear from your fans that they're so inspired by you. But in the video, you're saying how big of an impact they have on you. And do you feel like sort of what everybody's going through and with mental health, that really helped inform the new album?
Yeah, the whole thing is based on that. You know, I sort of looked around and feel that life is really centered around people's aspirations, and we look at social media and we think we're kind of inadequate to the people we're following, or they're having a better time. And there's that real sort of sense of FOMO. And again, going back to the thing I was talking about, how people want instant success and instant thing. So people get inevitably lost behind and ostracized or left, you know, feel that they fall off the grid. And they can't keep up. And so I wanted to write a record so everyone knew that it's difficult for all of us. And if I wrote a really personal record about my own challenges, I thought people could read that and just simply not feel alone. That's it. And then use the music as they see fit. I have people here who've had music for so long, and I think of you all the time when I write these records, because I think of the history I have with all these people. Laura here, she's been ever since the beginning and everything. And so she had 1 Second Bush, the first ever website it was then, you know, of like incredible, all the lyrics and all the songs and stuff I used to look up before the internet. You know, I had to look up sometimes her page to remember some lyrics. I forgot.
Remember lyrics, you had to check out her page.
Yeah, 1 Second Bush. Just sometimes I'll be like, fuck, what was that? Yeah, it was the second verse, because I'm good if I know the first line, then I'm good for the song. But if I don't have that first line, there's so many songs that it gets really confusing.
Like we mentioned, I Beat Loneliness is the album. It comes out Friday. You're going to perform here. How many songs are you going to do from the album?
From the album, there's 2, the single and I Beat Loneliness. And trust me, if it was up to me, I'd play them all 6 new, but I get tempered by my crew.
And I saw the video on your socials doing a push-up contest with Shinedown and
With
Morgan
Brent.
Wade,
Yeah,
right?
she's buff. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
take
So
her
what
out.
was that all about?
That was just a little bit of marketing fun. We had a fun day in some big estate in Tarzana, and Morgan really is into every morning 5 a.m. Wherever she is, she goes works out. She's super buff and strong. I was like, wow. So and I cooked for them. So the whole thing was a bit of workout. Brent likes to work out. He then had Morgan there, and then I made tacos, and they had we had a trainer who would get us to do, we had like a push-up competition and just dumb stuff like that.
And I would like to say that you kicked their asses. So
It's all the chopping I do. It's all the chopping. It's just shopping. When you shop like I can shop, you can take on some good push-ups.
and you are going on tour with Shinedown, so you'll be
And Morgan,
at the
and
Forum.
Morgan,
Yeah, and Morgan.
yeah.
Yeah. Forum August 3rd. You guys going to the show?
Are you guys ready to hear some music from Bush? Yeah. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back, and the band will play music for you.
All right, thanks guys.